a little swig before we start here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, once we get some people in here, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the live, Joshua Robinson. You're the first one in. We're just getting started. Welcome to the live. We're going to be talking about New Age books today, like the KYBALION. We'll probably only cover, depending on how long I'm on, we'll probably only cover the KYBALION and the Ra material today in this live. I initially was only going to cover the Ra material because someone had asked me about that yesterday on my latest video about the toad bone ritual found in traditional witchcraft. Someone had asked me about what I feel about the raw material, which I don't understand why they asked that. Has nothing to do with the toad bone ritual or traditional witchcraft, but they asked. So I told them my feelings on the raw material, which is it's nothing but New Age channeled nonsense, no foundation, no origin, just pulled out of someone's ass, and that person expects us to believe them. But aside from that, I've also been seeing a lot, and I don't know if it's because it's just because I started making content in the occult and esoteric and metaphysical hashtags or whatever. But I'm starting to see a lot of people talking about and recommending and things like the KYBALION. Claiming that it's a good book to begin with when you want to learn about occultism or esotericism, especially hermetics. And I want to talk about that today because as a hermeticist, an actual hermeticist, someone who is really initiated into the hermetic mysteries of Hermes Trismegistus, I can tell you, and there is no hermeticist that will disagree with me. I am 100. This is not ego. That's like saying Christians worship the wall. No Christian is going to agree with that. No Christian under the sun is going to say, yep, I agree. Yep, we worship the wall. As an actual hermeticist, I can promise you 100%, no actual hermeticist is going to agree that the KYBALION is a legitimate hermetic text. So I've got some notes here. Let me pull them out. Notes, as you can see, it says KYBALION and the KYBALION plus the raw material. And we've got some notes here that I want to go over. I wrote these down just so I can stay on topic because you guys know if you've been in any of my lives before, I like to jump around a lot and I make a lot of cross connections that if you're not initiated, if you don't practice occultism in any real way, you might not understand. So to prevent a lot of me going off on a tangent, I wrote it down so that way I can stay on topic. So we're going to talk first about the KYBALION because it seems that no one really knows about the raw material outside of the specific New Age community. But the KYBALION seems to be making the rounds in the New Age community, in the paranormal community, in the novice witch community. So we're going to talk about the KYBALION first, and we're going to talk about the issues with it and why it's not a legitimate hermetic text. Why the KYBALION and its 7 lessons, and its lessons really have nothing to do with hermetics. And then I will go over what you should study instead of this nonsense KYBALION. So using my notes here, we'll start with the KYBALION. We'll start with the very, very beginning, the origins of the KYBALION, excuse me. So the KYBALION was published in 1912 by the Yogi Publication Society Masonic Temple in Chicago, Illinois. So that right there should tell you that it is not legitimate hermetics. Masonry does not come from hermetics. Masonry is built on pseudo-Egyptian mythos. It's not even real Egyptian mythos. I know every conspiracy theorist you've seen on YouTube who are most likely Christian or some form of Abrahamic, I know that they tell you that, you know, by showing you, ooh, the all-seeing eye, Jay-Z does this, ooh, that it's all Egyptian. It's not. It's pseudo-Egyptian. Nothing in the Masonic beliefs or nothing in the Masonic books is actual Egyptian religion. You don't have to believe me. There are literal scholars of Egyptology. There are literal scholars of anthropology who have written books for college courses, PhD courses on nothing but the religion in Egypt. And you can take that book or any of those books and any Masonic book and put them side to side. That's how you do research and compare and see if anything matches up. They won't. Masonry is pseudo-Egyptian, not actual Egyptian. So this right here, the fact that it was published by the Yogi Publication Society Masonic Temple should tell you that it has no real origin. That by itself should tell you it has no real origin in any sort of Hermetic, which is a mix of Greek and Egyptian philosophy. So there's that. The fact that it was published in 1912 by the Yogi Publication Society Masonic Temple. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it was published by the 3 initiates, right? Now, the 3 initiates outside of that book really hasn't written any. I mean, we don't know about the 3 initiates outside of this. They're said to be 3 wise men from Egypt, blah, 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 nonsense like that. Well, if you do any research, instead of just believing whatever you read or believing with child of Yahweh or, you know, God's son or some nonsense like that says on YouTube, if you actually do your own research and you go and you look up anything about these authors, you'll find that there is no 3 initiates and that actually the 3 initiates is one person, and that one person is most likely William Walker Atkins, who was the leader of the Yogi Publication Society Masonic Temple. He was their honorary leader. I don't know all the history of all, like why he was the honorary leader, what happened to the real leader. I don't know all that, but he wasn't even like their real leader. He was an honorary leader of this, of the Yogi Publication Society and Masonic Temple, and also, the, International New Thought Alliance. Now, you'll remember New Thought, the term New Thought, for those of you who come to my lives often, you'll remember the New Thought from the multiple times that I talk about Dion Fortune's book, Applied Magic. Whenever I talk about the New Age, I usually bring up Dion Fortune's Applied Magic, which is from 1946, and how in 1946, she proved that the New Age comes out of the New Thought movement. Well, the New Age comes out of the what movement? The New Thought movement. What it was William Walker Atkins the leader of? The International New Thought Alliance. So the guy who wrote the KYBALION was the leader of the New Thought Alliance, in which New Age is born from. That should tell you that the KYBALION is not Hermetic. It's more New Age than Hermetic. William Walker Atkins also went by the name Yogi Ramacharaka. Not Ramachakra, Ramacharaka. Yogi Ramacharaka. He went by 3 different names. William Walker Atkins, Yogi Ramacharaka, and also, 4 names. Magus Incognito, as well as Theron Q. Dumont. All 4 of these names, the leader of the International New Thought Alliance and the Yogi Publication Society Masonic Temple, went by. And none of these names did he write the KYBALION under. He wrote it under the 3 initiates. So the leader of the New Thought movement, of which New Ageism is born from, wrote the KYBALION. That should tell you all you need to know about the KYBALION. But if not, we can keep going, because I have a whole page here of notes that we can discuss. And then we're also going to read from the text itself. I have the text right here pulled up. So as you can see right there, the KYBALION. And for those, if you don't believe me that it's the KYBALION, we'll close out of it and we'll pull it back up again. The KYBALION PDF, we'll pull it back up again so people don't think I'm lying. The KYBALION, a study of, even though it's not Hermetic, it says the Hermetic philosophy of ancient Egypt and Greece by the 3 initiates. Oh, also, here's another little mistake. I noticed this earlier. Hermes Trismegistus, known by the ancient Egyptians as the Great Great. I don't know who taught this person Latin, but trois, tre, tren, tous, tris is 3. He's the thrice great, not the twice great, the thrice great. Hermes the Great, 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 not the great great. So there in and of itself is a mistake. The publisher should have caught that, but since the guy who wrote it was also the publisher, I don't expect too much else. So there's a mistake there. It's he's the thrice great, not the double great. It's in the name, so I don't know how you could mistake it. Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great, but okay. So you're clearly not Hermetic. I mean, you don't even know that the founder and the godhead of the I don't want to call it a religion, but the spiritual path, the philosophical path, is the thrice great, not the double great. But it's Hermetics, right? So let me see here. Where do we leave off? Masonic Temple. So the text claims to be Hermetic, right? It makes quotes, and I'm reading directly. This is a quote from the book. I can read it out of the book if you want, but I wrote it down. The quote says, "We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of the secret doctrines." Ooh, Helena Blavatsky. Ooh. The secret doctrines, this little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings. So before anybody tries to say, oh, they don't claim to be Hermetic, just because it's in the title doesn't mean the whole book is Hermetic. In the introduction, the very first paragraph, they claim to be teaching world-old Hermetic teachings. Nothing in this book is Hermetic. If anything, it's if I wanted to be nice, and if I wanted to include this book in Hermeticism, just like the New Age, it would be at the bottom barrel, literally preschool for Hermeticism. And that's me being nice. I wouldn't even put this but if I wanted to be nice, I would. But in a real world thing, no, the KYBALION would not be included in any Hermetic study at all. If it was included in a study for, Hermetics or anything like that, it would be included in a study of, what do I want to call it? Like, pseudo-occultism, false Hermetics. The only exception would be like Jason Augustus Newcomb. That's it. That's the only exception. So where did I leave off? So the quote. So it claims to be based on Hermetic doctrines. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's read through the text here. Give me 1 second. Let's go to the chapter. And so I don't okay, so here's the issue. The chapters are written like that. So I don't know off the top of my head which chapters is which. So it doesn't say the law of correspondence, the law of vibration. I don't know the chapters by heart. So I'm going to have to do Control F and find the passage that I'm looking for. So 1 moment. I'm looking for the passage with the all. So that's the principle of mentalism. So let's start there. Then we'll go to the very next one and we'll learn how this is not Hermetics. So it says the all is mind, the universe is mental. Okay. So then it goes on to say that this principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains the all, which is the substantial reality underlying all outward manifestations and appearances which we know under the terms of the material universe, the phenomena of life, matter and energy, and in short, all that is apparent to our material senses, is spirit, which in itself is unknowable and indefinable, but which may be considered which may be considered and thought of as an universal, infinite, living mind. Now, there's a bit more to the paragraph, but I'm not going to read the whole paragraph. But just so anybody wants to take a screenshot, so you don't think I'm making anything up, I typed in the all into Control F. It's only this one paragraph here. I stopped right here at the infinite living mind. Take a moment to read the rest of it, because what I'm about to say, I'm not going to read the rest of this. So just take a moment to read that, so that way you don't, say anything like, oh, you're not reading the whole thing. It does say that stuff. So go ahead, take a few seconds, read the whole thing, and then I'll make my comment. So I'll just count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's talking about the mind in, oops, sorry. It wanted me to put up a charity or something like that. So it's talking about the all is mind in Hermetics. Now, the all is mind, that is a concept, right? But it doesn't stop there. So as I've shown, and I'll show it again, just in case anybody, oh, you're not telling the truth. Okay, we'll show it again. I've shown many, many times all my lives. Let me do the green screen. Many, many times all my lives, the Hermetic cosmology on how we view the universe and the world and how things came into being. Where is it here? There it is, screenshots. So this is the Hermetic cosmology here. This is where the mind would be, out here, God. God would be the mind, the prime mover. It doesn't mention God at all. Hermetics mentions God. This is God out here, the prime mover, the mind, all of that. Under here is the fixed stars. These are the zodiac or the zodiacal or the astrological beings and spirits here that are second to God. So this is where the super celestials would be. Sandalphon, Metatron, Inufiel, angels like that would be up here. And then here is, well, you can't see my finger, but here is the planetary realm. So this is where the archangels would be. Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, Zachiel, Anael, they would be here. So this out here, I'm sorry you can't see my finger, but all out here, the Imperium Habitum, the Habatium, would be where God is, the prime mover, right? I don't see anything about the prime mover. All it says is that it explains the all, which is the substantial reality underlying the outward manifestations and appearances, which we know under the terms of the material universe, the phenomena of life, matter and energy. In short, all that is apparent to our material senses is spirit, which in and of itself is unknowable and undefinable. That is incorrect. It is not unknowable. We can know, so the unknowable aspects of God is a Christian theological thing. That's known as the essence energy distinction. Now, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a theologian. I'm not an Orthodox. So I don't understand all of the intricacies of the essence energy distinction, but I have a basic understanding of it, and I can engage with a theologian or an Orthodox in the essence energy distinction. So the essence energy distinction of God talks about the difference between the essence of God and the energy of God. So the anoia and the energeia of God. And the essence of God is unknowable. We cannot know the essence of God because we are not dead, and therefore we are not back at the source. We are humans in this 3D world. We are separated from God, so therefore we cannot know the essence of God. But we can know the energies of God through the actions of the material world. Now, here's where we're going to stop with the theological aspect of it, so the Christian aspect, and we're going to move to the Hermetic aspect. So we can know God through his actions and in the material world. Well, what actions did God do in the material world? I don't know. Create it, perhaps? So we can know God through his creation of these beings here. This is why we initiate into these spheres, and we move up and up and up and up until we get back to the realm of God, so we can know God. That is why the Testament of Solomon says, remember my son Rehoboam. When King Solomon was talking to his son Rehoboam, remember Rehoboam, for the man of religion believes in God. The magician knows God. God can be known. So what the heck is this thing talking about that the all is unknowable and indefinable? Maybe it is indefinable. We might not be able to define the all, but it's definitely knowable. At least in his energy aspects, it can be known. This doesn't make any distinction between the essence or the energy of any sort of God, let alone Hermes Trismegistus. So therefore, we cannot assume that this is talking about both the essence and the energy. We have to assume it's talking about the whole thing, and that is incorrect. Now we can move on to the principle of correspondence. This is the as above, so below, which I mention a lot. We have right here, as above, so below. Right here, as it happens in the heavens, so shall it happen on earth. Let me remove this now, because that was only for ease of explanation. And then once I get done with this, I will go into the comments and take a look at the comments, see if there's any questions or anything you guys have, and then we will continue. So we're going to talk about the principle of correspondence. This is where the KYBALION tries to talk about as above, so below, but it doesn't really talk about anything. It just says, I don't know what you guys do for a living, but I work in corporate America. I work for a bank, and on my For You page, I've been seeing a lot of not memes, I wouldn't say memes, a lot of videos about like corporate speak and corporate jargon, like a lot of jokes about people who are like in Zoom meetings, like me. I was in a Zoom meeting all day actually today. I was in a meeting all day for my job. And all these buzzwords are used, circle back, pivot, I want to piggyback, like all these buzzwords and like cool things. That's all this thing does. It just uses buzzwords. It doesn't say anything. It's like being in a corporate meeting with your boss and all they're using is big time buzzwords, but they don't say anything. That's literally what this is doing. And we'll read it together. So it says, the principle, as above, so below, so above, the KYBALION. This principle, and this is the principle of correspondence. We're on page 10. This principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the laws and phenomena of the various planes of being in life. The old Hermetic axiom ran in these words, as above, so below, so above. That's true. And the grasping of this principle gives one the means of solving many a dark paradox and hidden secrets in nature. Now, and I would hope that in the next few lines, it would tell us how to do that. Don't just say it. Don't just say buzzwords. This is a book. And you're supposed to teach us the 7 lessons for Hermetic philosophy. Where is the lesson? You just said something. Where's the lesson? Well, let's continue, see if it says a lesson. Where'd I leave off? Paradox and hidden secret nature. There are planes beyond our knowing, that's true. But when we apply the principle of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much that would otherwise be unknowable to us. Okay? Can we get into those unknowable? Can you say something? This principle is of universal application and manifestation on the various planes of the material, mental, and spiritual. That's true. Universe. It is a universal law. I talk about universal laws a lot, especially when we talk about working with spirits. The ancient Hermeticists, he spelled Hermeticist wrong, but again, this is 1912. Maybe the spelling back then was a little different. Considered this principle as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pry aside the obstacles which hid from view the unknown. Its use even tore aside the veil of Isis to the extent that a glimpse of the face of the goddess might be caught. I don't know what that's talking about at all. Not that Isis isn't real or anything like that, but Isis is not recognized in Hermetics as a whole. You're free to work with her, but we wouldn't recognize Quetzalcoatl either, or Guan Yu, or Jesus, or anything like that. Well, okay, maybe Jesus, because Hermetics does fit in quite nicely with Christianity. Maybe a pre-rabbinic Christianity, so more along the lines of like a Gnostic Christianity, but that's a whole nother topic. But I don't know what this is talking about. Because it's like, this is not an allegory. It literally says its use even tore aside the veil of Isis. The use of what? You haven't said anything. The use of what tore aside the veil of Isis to the extent that a glimpse of the face of the goddess might be caught. Isis is not a part of any Hermetic pantheon. There is no Hermetic pantheon. Isis is not she's Egyptian, of course, but we have to remember that Hermetics is a mix of Greek and Egyptian, not purely Egyptian. So Isis is not a part of the Hermetic philosophy. Not that she can't be incorporated into it, but this is making it as if she's a part of the philosophy and she is not. So I don't know what that is even talking about. But there's 2 more sentences. Just as the knowledge of the principles of geometry enables man to measure distant suns and their movements. I don't think that's geometry. Why would we listen? That's not, geometry is shapes, not distance. Do you know physics, sir? You know what? Let me calm down. Where did I leave off? Enables man to measure distant suns and their movements while seated in his observatory. So a knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. Study the monad. Don't study okay. Study the monad, but you must know, you have to understand the monad is Judeo-Christian. It's not Hermetic, so just understand that. Study the monad, he understands studying the monad, he understands the archangel. What the fuck are you talking about? The monad is a Judeo-Christian thing, first of all, and it's used quite extensively in Orthodox theology. So why are you talking about it in Hermetics? I don't know. He understands the archangel. What archangel? There's quite a few. Which one? Probably Michael, because that's all the New Agers know. But which archangel are you talking about? And which archangel would have anything to do with Hermetics? Which one? Because I'm not aware of them. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Which one? Mr. William Walker Atkins, Therion Q. Dumas, Magus Incognito, and what was the other name he used? Yogi Ramacharaka? You tell me, because I don't know. What? None of this is Hermetics. You want to study real Hermetics? Why don't you get the actual dialogues of Hermes Trismegistus? Why don't you get the actual writings? Let me do the mirror video. Why don't you do the actual, this is Hermetica, the dialogues of Hermes Mercurius Trismegistus. And the KYBALION always talks about the emerald tablets. Well, guess what? You get an actual copy of the emerald. You get all of these are the two that you should probably read. Emerald tablet and the Asclepios. That's how the guy on Assassin's Creed. What was one for Greece? Not Origin, that was Egypt. What was one for Greece? Whatever. The guy on Assassin's Creed for Greece, that's how he would say it. Asclepios. For those of you who played it recently and recall his voice. Asclepios. That's how he would say it. And then we've got some fragments of the Book of Hermes to his son Tatios, also to Amun from Strobaeus, Cyril, etc., etc. There's also the Divine Pymander and the Virgin of the World. This is the Corpus Hermeticum. This is what you want to read. This is the literal, translated directly from the ancient tablets of Hermes Trismegistus. Not some, each chapter's a paragraph, and it doesn't really say anything. Like, this is what you want. This is what you want. And you don't have to buy it. If you don't want to spend the $50 that I paid for this, you don't have to. It's available for free in PDF form because it's so old. It's from like the 1200s or something like that. So it's so old, it's in the public domain. So even if you don't want to buy it, it's not like you're taking money out of some author's pockets. It's so old that you don't even have to buy it. You can just go and get the actual PDF copy. Let me switch my camera back to the original. So I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm going to pause here from my ranting and my raving and take a look at the chat. Let me get a drink first. And then I'll see what you guys are saying. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it. Now, for those of you who don't know how I do things, I'm not going to start right here. I'm going to scroll up because I don't like people thinking that I skip questions. Oh, I'm afraid to answer this question. So we're going to scroll up, start at the top, and we're going to work our way down to the most recent question. So I don't want anybody in the chat, where are you reading? Where is he reading from? Because I get it all the time. Stop it. Open your ears and listen. I'm going to scroll all the way up, go to the top, and work my way down. That's how I do it in every single live. So that's how we're going to go. We're going to scroll up right now. All right, blah, blah, blah. Welcome. We'll keep going. Host, invite Mama Wa. Welcome, Mama Wa. Welcome, welcome. Stop fighting the truth. They literally told you the truth. Who? Stop fighting the Bible and God. I'm not fighting the Bible and God. I actually use the Bible quite often, actually. In Hoodoo, we use the Bible quite often. We use the Psalms. We use Song of Solomon. We use Proverbs quite often. I'm not fighting the Bible here. They are smarter than you. Who? The people who wrote the KYBALION are smarter than... Shut the fuck up. No, they're not. I'm saying shut the fuck up. They're not. I said it. They're not. Hello, how you doing, Denzel Washington? My guy, he remembered. Denzel. Oh, tonight, I'm going to watch. Y'all know the three things I'm big on: occultism, crypto, and film. I am going to watch Denzel Washington and who's the female? Oh my God, I forgot her name. That's terrible because she's also a great actress. I forgot her name. Anyway, Denzel Washington, Joel Cohen. I believe Joel, of the Cohen brothers. Joel Cohen, Denzel Washington, Frances McDermott. That's her name. Frances McDermott. Apple TV or Apple Watch or whatever, Apple TV, they gave Denzel Washington his $25 million and he did The Tragedy of Macbeth. I'm going to watch it. I've read so many phenomenal reviews about it. You guys know how much I love film, how much I love acting, directing, the writing process, the lighting, the staging, all of it. I look at every aspect of a movie. I'm going to watch that tonight. Probably like later tonight after I get off live and everything like that. I hope it's really, really good. I've heard like Oscar stuff about this, even though it's past Oscars. I mean, it's not past Oscars. It's too late for the to like be inducted into the 2022 Oscars. He'll have to wait till next year. I think the cutoff is like November or December. He'll have to wait till next year to be in the Oscars, but I'm hearing it's Oscar worthy. So little aside, thank you for the Denzel Washington compliment. I'm going to watch that tonight. Hopefully he does a great job. I hear that stage actors are the best actors of all time. Denzel Washington, when he's not doing movies, he does do stage acting. And of course, the pinnacle of stage acting is Shakespeare. So to see the pinnacle of black acting in the pinnacle of acting, come on. But anyway, back to the occultism. Thank you for that, Church of Lucifer, and welcome to the live. Hello today, goddess. Am I a yes queen? Am I a queen? Do you want to see my boy? Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. But yes, thank you. I've been very good, Church of Lucifer. How have you been? The Masonic Temple has got every single kind of religion in it. That is true. That is true. Thrice. That's right. The thrice great. Sorry, somebody's at my door. But they'll get it. Whatever. The thrice great. You got heated. I did. I get very upset when like I see nonsense like this, and then I see people believing it, and I'm like, if you just take 5 minutes, that's all. I know that's a lot. I know in our modern day society, 5 minutes is a lot of time when our attention spans are so short. I get it. But if you take 5 minutes out of your time and do a quick Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever your favorite search engine is, and do a search on Hermetics, or go to esotericarchives.com, and a bunch of these books that I have that I paid all this money for, Joe Peterson, because they're so old, not all of them, but a lot of them are so old and that they're in the public domain. Our scholar and practitioner, Joe Peterson, has put a lot of them for free on esotericarchives.com. You're not stealing anything. It's in the public domain. And also, a lot of the books are written by Joe himself, so he's not stealing his own books. It's his website, his books. He publishes them through his own company, so therefore there is no theft. And he puts them online for you, the seeker, to find. If people just knew that and just read it, they would see. But they don't, so I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, what have I tuned into? Hey, from NYC. You've tuned into an occult talk. We're talking about occultism, witchcraft, magic, sorcery, real spirituality. But welcome. Thank you for being here from North Carolina, North Kakalaki. Welcome. Good afternoon. How are you today? I'm doing very well. A Thrasher, I'm doing very well. What is your view on angel numbers? What do you mean? Like the 111, 222, 333? So repeating numbers is a thing, but it's not from your angel, right? Your spirits don't talk to you like that. They'll talk to you in ritual through a divination, like your bones, or depending on the type of spirit, maybe through tarot or something like that, or they'll talk to you in your dreams. They're not going to send you a number as you're walking down the street, and then you look over at a sign or at the clock in Times Square and it says 12:12, and they're like, oh my God, 1212, my angel's talking to me. No, that's the time, and you just happen to look up. They talk to you in your spirits, talk to you in your dreams or in ritual. They don't talk to you through numbers as you're flipping through the channel and you're on channel 111. Oh my God, that's my angel talking to me. No, you're flipping through the channels and you're on channel 111. Maybe just change the channel. So angel numbers are real, or not angel numbers, excuse me, repeating numbers are real. But what the numbers mean would be unique to you. So I can't say, oh, 444. Your angels are trying to tell you that peace and harmony is in your future. That's nonsense, because that's what 444 would mean for every single person. That's ridiculous. You have your own future and your own readings and all that other stuff that are specific to you, and that's what the numbers would be. According to Asaya Ka Luxa right here, let me show you in case somebody thinks I'm lying. As always, you guys should know by now, I don't just say things, I show evidence. So Asaya Ka Luxa by John Vermillion of the Violet Flame. This book is sold out. You won't be able to get it. There's only 200 copies in the world, so you won't be able to get this copy, but let me go back here. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there it is. I just passed it. Oh, wait. No, sorry. That was colors. I want numbers. I want numbers. Do. Here we go. So I'll do the swap so you guys don't think I'm lying. Numerology, tuning into frequencies. This is from, sorry, I'm on the mirror thing, so it's tripping me out. Asaya Ka Luxa. It talks about numerology and how the number synchronicity in sets of 3 or 4. It goes on to say that you should study numerology, and each set of repeating numbers should be read individually. So you don't read 333 or 444 or 1111. You read 1, 1, 1, or 4, 4, 4, not 444. That's not anything. There are certain times where the numbers might come in pairs. So like 0, 5 or something like that. And then you would read 0, 5, not 0, 5. But there are no triple or quadruple numbers. They would be read one by one by one. So you'd want to study numerology, and then based on that, you'd be able to give yourself a reading based on whatever numbers. Let me flip this camera again. Based on whatever numbers show up. It's the introduction for someone escaping mainstream. So that is usually the response for when people talk about the issues with the Kybalion, is that it's a good intro, but I find that people don't go any further than that. They think that this is hermetics because the book doesn't say, okay, now when you're done with this, go read this and this and this. It just ends and that's it. And it presents itself as a hermetic text. So people think they read it. I know hermetics. I'm going to study and practice this. I got it all under wraps. And that's not the case. I would recommend not even read this at all, like literally not even read it at all. I would recommend starting with actual hermetic texts, such as the Corpus Hermeticum and the Asclepios. Those are the two that I would say to start out with. Then go to the Emerald Tablets, and then go to the Divine Pymander, then go to Virgin of the World, then go to the Fragments. And then from there, read commentaries. I still wouldn't read this. I'd read commentaries by actual, verifiable experts and practitioners that you can go online right now and read reviews of their work. And, you know, it's peer reviewed. No one's peer reviewing this because people, I mean, like at this time, this was the only hermetic text. And in 1912, there was no group of people to like bounce this off of and peer review it. Whereas we have that now. So that's what I would say. I would say go to the actual source text rather than this. I wouldn't recommend anybody read this at all. Maybe if you're trying to teach your 6-year-old about hermetics, maybe. But if you're 12 or older, you should probably read the actual dialogues of Hermes Trismegistus. That's just my opinion. I mean, you know, there are people. It's just crazy. So I don't want to call him out because I really do respect him. You know what? I'm not going to call him out. I'm not going to, because he himself did not recommend the KYBALION, but there is a not very well known. There's a well known black, not black like me, but black as in the dark arts, a magician that I follow. I'm not going to give any more information on that because then you'll be able to figure it out who it is. But I follow him and he's well known in a specific corner of the occult world. I'll just say that. And the person who brought him in, or at least the person who made him known, has been going through a lot of issues over the summer when it comes to occultism. That's all I'll say. He was in the news due to, or at least one of the people that was a member of his group was in the news due to a crime, a serious crime, murder, that they did. So I'll just say that. This person has a video out where they were talking about some of the beginner books. And they actually didn't recommend any books. They recommended certain practices, which is fine. But in the comments, someone said that, oh, well, all those practices, and they're not, are mentioned in the KYBALION. So people can start with that. And then the owner of the channel liked it as if it was a valid statement. So I can't fully fault him. Maybe he was just liking it because someone commented and, you know, it gave engagement and things like that. That could be completely valid because I do that. I don't agree with everything that I, you know, like all the comments that I like on my videos, but I'll do it for engagement. For those of you who know how social media works, I do it for engagement. So he could have been doing it for that. But he's not the only person that I've seen who's legitimate that seems to promote these texts. And so I don't know. I mean, like, I just can't see how people can think that this is legitimate. I mean, it doesn't even say anything. It doesn't have you do anything. It just says, hey, just so you're aware, there's some other stuff out there. Okay, bye. I mean, that's literally what it does. Hey, there's some spiritual stuff out there. Hopefully you find it. All right, gotta go. I mean, that's really all it says. So the woman who created angel numbers abandoned them shortly after. Who was that? Who created angel numbers? Was it that Dolores Cannon? Was it that woman? Dolores Cannon? I don't like her. She's dead, but she's nonsense. Can you talk about the will of God? What do you mean the will of God? That's normally a Christian, Muslim, Jewish thing, the will of God. What do you mean by the will of God? The law of correspondence is micro to macro. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. LOL, my man's going in. I have a question though. Give me a sec to write it up. Okay, cool. I come in and you going ham. Sorry. Yeah, I get very upset with, like, occultism is literally I literally live and breathe this stuff. So when I see people talking nonsense or promoting nonsense or preaching nonsense or suggesting nonsense, I get upset. So Hashtag the army of light. I've heard from some occultists that believe the tunnels that believe. Wait, hold on. Let me read. I heard from some occultists that believe the tunnels, comma, that believe that spirits control them. What do you mean the tunnels? Like the tunnels of Set? Is that what you mean? The tunnels? What do you mean the tunnels? She now denounces New Ageism, beliefs, and is devout Christian. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Doreen Virtue or Doreen Valiente? Doreen Valiente. I got my laptop right here. It's one of those ladies. I think Doreen Virtue's dead. She was that woman who was always on Montel Williams, I think, talking about, I can talk to your dead loved ones who died in 9/11. And you were wrong. Live on television, you were wrong. You told that lady that her husband died in 9/11 and that lady's husband died in a whole other country. Sorry. I apologize. What was I looking up? Now I forgot what I was looking up. What the heck was I about to look up? Doreen Valiente. Doreen Valiente. English author. Is that her? No, she's dead. She's the witch lady. Okay. Sorry. Wrong lady. It's Doreen Virtue. Maybe. Yes, Doreen Virtue. It is her.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, it's her. She's the one. And she made a big stink about it years and years ago. Yeah, angel. Yep, it's her. Angel numbers, how to hear your angels, messages from your angels. I remember when this happened. This was new. Like, this was news in the occult world because even though she wrote a bunch of new age stuff, she was actually initiated into a few legitimate occult groups. And it's very rare to see an actual occultist. There's plenty of new agers who go to Christianity, but it's very rare to see an actual occultist leave occultism and go to Christianity. So when she did it, it was news. Like every occultist has heard of her, and her whole website and all the YouTube videos she did talking about how she was condemning all the angels and everything. And she was, I think she said she was going to convert it all to God. Oh, nonsense. Just nonsense. And I think it had to do with her husband or the guy that she was messing with or dating or whatever. Now, I'm not in her circle. I don't know. This is only conjecture, rumor, hearsay. But from what I hear, she only did that because she was messing with some guy. I guess he had the platinum D because he made her recant all her occult stuff and go Christian. So he must have the platinum D. He gave her some vitamin D because she liked that D so much that she went Christian. So that's what I heard, that she, did it for the man, that she did it for the man she was with. I don't know if she's still with him or anything like that. Wow. I scrolled down a little bit 3 weeks ago. She posted a video on her YouTube 3 weeks ago. Why I closed my successful new age business to follow Jesus. Wow. That's so funny that we're talking about her and she just posted something 3 weeks ago. She also talked about Scientology. All right, whatever. So yes, Doreen Virtue, that's her. I get her and Doreen Valiente mixed up. Tunnels of Salim. Excuse me. Being run by the archdemon Salim. Do you agree they exist? I don't like the term archdemon or archdemon. I mean, I guess it's fair because there's archangels, so I guess it's fair. But I'm not a demonologist, so I don't like giving demons ranks like that. But I mean, it's not that they don't have ranks. I just don't prefer to give it to them because I work with demons in a mercenarial way. So I call you, you come, I pay you, you go. Then I call you again if I need you again. I don't like you, I don't care about you. Just do the job and go away. That's how I treat them. So I don't like to look at them in any sort of respectful manner, like hierarchies or anything like that. But no, I've never heard of Salim. That doesn't even sound valid. It sounds like something from E.A. Coetting's Ordo Eternum or Ordo Ascension Aeternalis or whatever his group is that came up with Kingdoms of Flame and those made up spirits in that book. That's what Salim sounds like. So no, I do not agree with that. I've never heard of the tunnels of Salim. I've never heard of Salim. It doesn't even sound like a legitimate demonic name. Most demons come from antiquity, so they come from the language that their religions are born from. Salim, outside of Salim, which is of Arabic origin, doesn't sound like any language that it would come from. It sounds like someone made it up. So no, I do not agree with that. But hopefully you can point me in the right direction on where I can find out more about Salim or the tunnels of Salim, because I've never, let's just Google it. I've never heard of that. Sac Sac Salim. Frater F. Who's Frater F? So I see some artwork by Linda Falorio. Sac Sac Salim art. It's a greeting card art. There's a song, Sac Sac Salim, the 25th Tunnel. Oh, okay. There's a song on SoundCloud, the Sac Sac Salim, the 25th Tunnels of Set. So okay, so then this does have to do with the Tunnels of Set. Okay. Let me see what this is. The Shadow Tarot. What's this? Hold on, I gotta read through this. This is talking about alchemy. And a mighty angel, okay. Oh, here's what you must be talking about. I have this book, The Night Side of Eden by Kenneth Grant. The 25th ray illumines the tunnel of Sac Sac Salim, whose number is 300 and whose non-being may be induced to assume the form of vibration of a high-pitched electric crackling sound in the key of G sharp. The Golden Dawn symbolism of the 5th grade equals the 6th grade should be studied. And the priestess of the Black Temple. What? Oh, Ein Sof. Okay. This is Klipothic. That's why I've never heard of it. So as you guys know, I study Kabbalah, but I've never walked the tree, especially the night side, which is the Klipoth. So this is Ein Sof, which is in Kabbalah, the prime mover, the all great black nothingness that God would reside in. I don't study the Klipoth, so that's why I've never heard of the 300 or the tunnels of Sac Sac Salim. So that's why I've never heard of it. So no, what? Oh, okay. This is talking about connecting the work of Austin Osman Spare to the Vedas. Okay, that's cool. But no, I've not heard of this because I don't study the Klipoth. I don't study Ein Sof or anything like that, or the Quran Zon or anything like that. That's all Klipothic, and I don't study any sort of antinomian or anticosmic system because I don't agree with anticosmism or anticosmonism. But I'm going to add this to my caliber reading list because I would like to learn. I've never heard of that, the tunnels of Sac Sac Salim. So let me add this to my the book, The Night Side of Eden, because I do have that book. Let me add it to my caliber reading list, and I'll probably get to it this weekend. I can generally read through a book in a week with my current lifestyle and friends and family and work and everything like that. I can generally read a book in a week. And I just got done with Craft of the Untamed by Nikolaj de Matos Frisvold. So I'll add this. Hold on, it's like frozen. Okay. All right. So that's on my reading list for this weekend. So that's why I haven't heard of it. This is Klipothic, and I don't work with the Klipoth. You're the only person that I've seen that answers all questions asked. It's amazing. Many thanks for that. Well, I try. The reason I do that is because when I first got on TikTok, the thing that annoyed me the most is I would see people ask like this, and they'd be like, yes, no, I'm 18. I'm a Democrat. I live in America. Yes, I speak English. I have 2 brothers. Okay, I'm going to college. And it's like, what are you doing? Talk to the people. Stop acting like you're bored. Get offline if you're bored. Like, what are you doing? Talk to they're asking you questions because they want to know. Like, I don't know. So I vowed I was never going to do that. That's annoying. That's annoying. So I would never do that. You're cracking me up on this live. I feel the passion and energy. Well, thank you very much. What was your introduction to the occult? I don't know how you want to look at it, whether you want to think, if you look at fate or if it was I don't want to say like a coincidence, but happenstance. I mean, I guess that's a synonym for a coincidence, so never mind. But anyway, I found out when I was 13. I was at the mall with my mother. We were planning the family vacation. She was going to our travel agent, so that's how long ago this was, when you had to go to a travel agent. You couldn't go to Travelocity or Booking.com or Planes.com. You had to go to a travel agent. So we were going to Liberty Travel. I had to go talk with Jennifer, our travel agent. I can't believe I recall her name. And I didn't want to sit there because it was, my mom always plans these exotic vacations all over the world, all this nonsense. So it was going to take hours, you know. I didn't want to sit there at 13. I don't want to sit and watch you plan a vacation to a country I've already been to, you know, so I wanted to go do something else. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go walk around the mall. She was like, okay, cool. You got a cell phone, so I'll call you when I'm done. Like, all right, so I just walked around the mall and I went to the bookstore. That was my plan. I didn't want to go walk around the mall. I wanted to go to the bookstore. And I was looking around, not really looking for anything, just trying to waste time. And I'm looking at all the sections. I see romance, teen, sci-fi, fantasy, drama, travel, language, religion. And I'm like, okay, this is all cool. And then I see this section called New Age. Never saw it before. And this is how you know that the bookstores don't know anything about occultism. They lump everything under New Age. Like, whether it's real occultism or not, they lump it under New Age. So I saw this section called New Age. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I'm like, all right, what is this? And it was, again, this is how you can tell that someone set this up who has no idea. They set it from top to bottom, the seemingly good stuff, down to the bottom was the seemingly bad stuff. So it started up top with angel cards, oracle cards, pendulums, and crystals. Then it went to tarot cards and like bone sets and books about like crossing over or talking to spirits. Then it went to like meditation and stuff like that. Then it went into like Wicca witchcraft. So like Wiccan witchcraft. Oh, the love and the light witchcraft. And it harm none, do what ye will. The Wiccan read, you know, all the light, fluffy, airy bunny. We're all friends. Let's all hold hands and sing under the sun witchcraft stuff. And then it would get into like the hermetic stuff and the, grimoire traditional stuff and the traditional witchcraft stuff. Then at the very, very bottom was all the Anton Xander LaVey, the satanic stuff and the satanic Bible and Satan speaks and, you know, the rights, the rights of the 13 tongues and all that nonsense. And I'm like, yo, what is this? This is devil worship. Because I was a Christian. I was a Baptist Christian. So I'm looking like, yo, this is devil stuff. I'm out. So I turned to leave and like something out of a movie, like out of a Hallmark movie on Christmas, as I turned to leave, one book caught my eye. I'm like turning to leave, but like my head is still like looking at it like this is some devil nonsense. And this one book, To Ride a Silver Broomstick by Silver Ravenwolf, stuck out. I do not recommend her now that I'm into the craft and I'm mature in the craft. If you're 14 and you want to learn about occultism or you want to learn about magic with a K, she's great. But if you want to learn about occultism or witchcraft beyond the basics, she's not so great. But when you're 13, don't know anything, she was wonderful. So I found this book, Silver Ravenwolf, To Ride a Silver Broomstick, and I literally sat on the floor of Walden Books and I just read it. And it opened my eyes. I was like, it showed me that everything that I learned from Christianity about magic was wrong. And I believed it because this was from a witch. Like, this was not from a Christian who's biased. Obviously, they're going to tell me anything outside of that is wrong. This is from a witch. So she's telling me things that witches do and things that witches believe. And it was in complete opposite of what I was learning from my pastor and my grandmother and random people in the church. So I couldn't buy it because I didn't have any money from what I recall. And I was with my mother, so I couldn't walk out of the bookstore with that book. So I had to put it back and I had to wait till the next day when I went to school. I went to the library and I started studying. There was no books at the library on witchcraft. I mean, there was, but it was like academic stuff. It wasn't like practitioner stuff. So I had to go online and I did a lot of research for about 4, maybe 5 months. Then one day in French class, I got very, very lucky. And it was like a free period. And I happened to look over at this one young lady, Whitney, and she was reading a book by Silver Ravenwolf. She was reading Teen Witch, and it piqued my interest because I had read To Ride a Silver Broomstick. So I went over to her and I told her, hey, I know this author that you're reading. I read her book To Ride a Silver Broomstick. Like, I don't want, but like, are you a witch? And she was like, yeah. So, I mean, it took a while, but she finally opened up to me over, weeks and months. And then she confided in me that she's learning witchcraft from her aunt, who happens to be a high priest or high priestess. And so that blew my mind because like I had only read about them. I never met one in real life. So I was like, holy, are you for real? She's like, yep, that's who I'm learning from. So do you want to meet her? So one weekend I went over her house and her aunt came over to visit the family and I met her. We talked for a few hours and she agreed to teach me. So from the ages of 14 to 18, depending on the week, I would go several times a week to the coven or to what we would call the witch grounds or what's called the coven stead. So I would go to their location, which was not a house. So this coven had some money. They had land and they had a church, I guess you would call it. It was not a church. It was a regular building, but I don't know what to call it other than a church. I mean, there's no official name for where witches would meet other than a coven. So I don't know what to call it. So I guess I'll call it a church. They had a building, they had land, and the building was broken up into like sections. So there was the admin section. There was like the recreational section. I don't know. I mean, there was nothing to do there. Like you couldn't play games. There was just like the chill section. There was like a library and some seats and like a little, like a vending machine. And and like a water fountain or something like that. And that was it. And then there was the ritual area. And then there was the outside and there was a lot of stuff out back where you could also do outdoor rituals if you wanted to do them naked or you had like a sacrifice or something like that. That will be done outside. So I went there and for 4 years, from 14 to 18, I was trained by her and other high priests and high priestesses and other various knowledgeable members of the coven. And at the age of 18, they asked me if I wanted to initiate into the mysteries. I received my first degree mysteries. Then I left for college. So I never went beyond the first degree mysteries. So I am initiated into witchcraft through the first degree. I did not go to the second degree or the third degree. But I did go far enough to legally be called a high priest. So I can legally do weddings and funerals because anybody can go on, what's that website? New Church or newlife.com or whatever, or the Universal Life Church, whatever, and get ordained to do weddings, but not everybody can do a funeral. I can do funerals. I can do baptisms, or christenings is what we would call them, or wickenings as the coven would call them. That was my introduction to occultism and witchcraft. Through High Priestess Caroline Graham and her coven after finding the book by Silver Raven Wolf at Walden Books when I was 13. So, are you talking about Doreen Virtue? Oh, okay, yeah, we just went over that. Let's see. Hello, Rebel. Very glad to catch you live. Thanks for sharing. Of course. It's more synchronicity than angel numbers. I do agree with that, yes. I was wondering why I couldn't really get into the KYBALION. Yeah. You want to study the actual text of Hermeticism. Why do you think that they do that? To point people in the wrong direction. I think it's to keep people, I think it's selfishness. People want all the knowledge and the power for themselves. You're not so cool anymore when everyone else knows this knowledge, right? It's not so, but that should be the point. There will come a point when almost everyone on this live will no longer need my lives. And that should be the goal. But that's what influencers and people are afraid of. They're afraid of seeing 0 viewers, or they're afraid of seeing 0 followers. And that can't be the goal. The goal should be to spread information so people can elevate. Every teacher's goal should be for the student to surpass the teacher. And while I do not consider myself a teacher, I would love for every one of you to get to either my level or beyond. That should be the goal. There should come a time where you say, I don't need to watch The Mystical Rebel no more. Unless you just want to because you're just entertained by me. But you should not need to come to me after a certain point for information. You should come to me because you want to just hang out with me and just chill and chat, right? That should be the point. But I guess most people don't look at it like that. They want to keep you under them. And now I don't charge for any of my knowledge, but to paying them their salaries and their fees and all that, that's what they want. So that's the only thing that I can think of. It's ego, selfishness, and money. So, I mean, if everyone knows this stuff, then you can't pay me for my secrets. So I think that's a big reason. I think it's ego, money, and selfishness. So that's why you'll never catch me with a background with my Venmo or my Cash App or anything like that telling you to send me $5 for a reading. If you want a reading, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to go to my website, click on services, click on buy net. Like, you're going to have to do all that. I'm not going to put up a background so you can pay me money. I don't need your money. It's great if you want to pay me. That's great, but I don't need it. I'm here to give the information for you to take it, incorporate it into your life, and then for you to move forward. I don't want you to stay here in circles. It's great if you want to stay here and follow me. That's great. But that should not be my goal, and it's not my goal. I want you to eventually, hopefully by this time next year, most of you are able to do your own thing and you don't have to watch my videos unless you want to. That should be the goal. But I feel like most people don't do it that way. So I think jazz and funk is the best way to enlighten. Jazz and funk. I like the Funkadelics. I like, even though he's got some accusations against him, some pretty bad accusations, not like Me Too, like worse than Me Too accusations, like the guy who directed X-Men accusations. I forget his name off the top of my head. Bryan Singer accusations. If that name alone should let you know what kind of accusations that I'm talking about. But the guy who did the Funkadelics, I like them. I like their music. I like jazz too, but I mean, jazz is like, I don't know. Jazz is like sleep music for me. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean or rude to anybody who really likes jazz. I know jazz is real. I know jazz is like real music, and any jazz musician can go off and play virtually any kind of music. I do know that. I know that jazz is real legitimate music. I know that, and they're real musicians. But I feel, I don't know, like, unless it's Kenny G, like, it's sleep music for me. Kenny G puts me in a mood. He puts me in the, I'm gonna lay some D down on you mood. But other jazz don't do that. Only Kenny G. Like, alone, Kenny G alone, tell me, you get yourself a Spanish female and tell me Kenny G's alone don't make her want to drop her clothes. Kenny G's alone, that's some real jazz right there. But I don't know. I like John Coltrane too. He's cool. Duke Ellington, they're cool. But Bootsy Collins for funk? Oh, Bobble. Oh, it's the double. Yeah, I like funk too. But anyway, back to magic. Back to magic. What's the topic? We're talking about New Age books. We're talking about the KYBALION right now. Depending on how long I'm on, we might move into the Ra material. Someone mentioned that on my latest video about the toad bone ritual. Someone just randomly, because I don't know why, because the Ra material has nothing to do with the toad bone, right? Like even in any remote way. But they posted it on that a video asking me if I knew about the Ra material and if I agree with it. And I told them no, it's channel nonsense. So we might talk about that after this. But right now we're talking about the issues with the KYBALION. Haha, it's no problem. I get it. I'm the same way. Pandemonium tunnels. Sorry, I should proofread before it's fine. No. There's no need to proofread. That was Sylvia Brown. Oh, okay, it was Sylvia Brown. Yeah, she's dead now. That's right, Sylvia Brown. That was Sylvia Brown on Montel. Lady on there with your weird bob cut. That weird Aleister Crowley looking haircut. Weirdness, and talking about, yeah, honey, she biting her nails. I saw him I see him in water. I saw the tower fall on him. I saw him in the water. And then she's like, okay, well, he was in another country and died in a plane crash. And she's like, sorry, I see him in water. I see him at the towers. I'm like, she's literally telling you he died somewhere else. And you're like, nope, sorry, I see him in the water. Shut the hell up. Platinum D. That's right. Platinum D. I heard that too about Doreen and her man. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's true. That's just the conjecture that I heard hanging out in the occult communities online. Basically I'm saying I use real numerology and not angel numbers. That's right. Exactly. When did you start studying demonology? So I couldn't get into demonology until college. So for those of you who know my story, you know this, but the Coven did not want to teach me 99% of what I have. I mean, these aren't all the books I have. I have another shelf over here, but I wanted to make my lives a bit more, so I bought shelves to put here for all. But anyway, most of these books, the Coven wouldn't have wanted to talk about. Psychic Witch, maybe, and maybe Portable Magic are the only books up here that I have that the Coven would wanted to talk about. They only wanted to teach me witchcraft, like plain Jane European witchcraft. They did not want to talk about Grimoire tradition. They did not want to talk about, esotericism. They did not want to talk about traditional witchcraft. They did not want to talk about any of the ATRs or the ADRs. Did not want to talk about necromancy in any necrosophic way. They did not want to talk about anything other than witchcraft and a couple of divination systems. That's it. So I could not learn anything about demons until I got to college because I wasn't able to study any of that stuff while I was with the coven. Anytime I tried to study and then ask questions, they would always shoot me down. So it kind of like discouraged me from studying because I had a group here who could give me answers, but they didn't want to. So it kind of discouraged me. And then when I got into college, I got my first copy of the Key of Solomon right there. That's the same copy I had. It's all beat up and torn up. It's the oldest book that I own because I didn't buy any books until college because I had the coven to learn from. So it wasn't until I was like 19 that I started learning about grimoire tradition, the Goetia, demonology, and things like that. Oh, another thing. Thank you for bringing it up. With the KYBALION, okay? So people love so if you don't have a teacher or a coven or a group or an order or anything to learn from, your only option is books. So people always ask me, why do you put so much emphasis on books? Well, because you have unless you have a teacher or you buy like a course or something like that, you can't just wake up one day and go, I know the mysteries of the universe. You're going to have to learn it from somewhere. Like, it's not just going to pop into your head. You're going to have to learn it from somewhere. And that somewhere, unless you have a mentor or a teacher or a group or someone that you can learn from, or you buy a course online, or you find a free course somewhere, you're going to have to learn it from books. So that's why I advocate books. But now let's introduce philosophy. In philosophy, there's something known as, there's appeals. Okay, so I'm not a philosopher. I don't have a degree in philosophy, but I study a bit of philosophy. So there's something known as appeals. And there's something known in philosophy as appeal to tradition, which means people saying something is valid simply because it's old, which is what a lot of people think I do with grimoire tradition. I advocate it, and it is old. It goes back to like 1100 or something like that. Like, it's super, super old, right? But it's not the fact that it's just old, right? I don't appeal to tradition. It's not the fact that it's just old. It's the fact that we can actually trace each and every book to the book and the authors before it, so we can verify, and then we can compare those books to the systems in the books at that same time period, and see if anyone else agrees with this one author, or is this one author off on an island by themselves, and if so, why? These are all questions that you have to ask. So I'll give you an example. The Key of Solomon, right here, and the Goetia, they're the same book. It's two separate books, but the Key of Solomon is 5 books in one. This is one of the other 5 books. So this is just the Greater Key. There's also the Goetia. There's the Ars Paulina, the Ars Notoria. There's all that. This book goes back to the Testament of Solomon, or the Hygromanteia, which that book is derived from. Sorry, one second. I'm trying to put 2 books back. Okay. That book is derived from the Liber Gerarchus. The Liber Gerarchus was written by Honorius of Thebes. Surely, if you're familiar with grimoire tradition, you'll know Pope Honorius is attributed to 2 grimoires. And there are 6 popes that wrote grimoires. But Honorius of Thebes wrote the Liber Gerarchus, which is the predecessor to the Key of Solomon. And Honorius of Thebes was a student of Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, who gave us the 3 books of occult philosophy, which the KYBALION is supposedly based on, because it's Hermetic, right? And Agrippa, Heinrich Agrippa, who wrote the 3 books of occult philosophy, which is our foundational text, was a student of who? Johannes Trithemius, who gave us the art of drawing spirits into crystals. And I can keep going. It goes back and back and back and back, and we can trace it. We have tradition, hence grimoire. Tradition. I would ask you, what tradition, where can we go back and derive the KYBALION from? Because what is talked about in the KYBALION is not found in the Hermetica at all. So what can we go back and base the KYBALION on? Or the raw materials? Who can I say, what ancient text can I go back and go, okay, this book is based on something, it's based on something in history that someone else talked about. What book? None. So all I have to assume is the author of the raw material and the KYBALION did this. Pull it right out of their ass, wrote it down, and sold it. And people bought it. Crazy. Crazy. Grimoire tradition, esotericism, mysticism can be traced back all the way back to the origins. And then from there, don't just believe that, because that by itself is an appeal to tradition. It goes back all the way. Don't stop there. Take those books that go back and then look at other books at that same time period from other philosophers and other scholars and religious luminaries or whatever and see if they agree. See if they're all talking about the same stuff. And does that also continue into, oh, now we have something. Now we have something. Or is it one book, one guy or one girl, one person, whatever, and that's it. That's how we have to look at this stuff. So I'm glad that you brought that up because that reminded me about the origins of things. And the KYBALION has no origin. It's supposed to be based on the Hermetica, but it's not. And the raw material, which we haven't even gotten into yet, but the raw material is not based on anything. The raw material is literally channeled. It's literally like, I am Ra. Yes, I do know John, the guy you mentioned, and I will tell you that John is a higher dimensional fifth being of the Palladian. What are you talking about? What ancient text mentions Palladians as beings, not the star system, as beings? What ancient text mentions Palladians as beings? What ancient text mentions the Galactic Federation of Light? What ancient text mentions any of the Egyptian beings coming down and mentioning themselves in the third fucking person? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The raw materials channeled by these. And also, if you do any research on the raw materials, they used Christian methods to contact Egyptian deities. Who does that? You want to contact Egyptian deities? You might want to take a look at Stephen Skinner, who's both a practitioner and a scholar, his book, Techniques on Greco-Egyptian Magic. Or you might want to take a look at Nineveh Shadrach's Ancient Egyptian Magic. Maybe those books will shed some insight on how to contact ancient Egyptian deities. Not lying down on my bed with the Bible at my head. Someone goes ding, 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 ring a bell, light 2 candles, and all of it. And now Ra's here. What? What? Come on. Stop playing games with me. Felt like I explained that horribly. It's okay. Also, just so you guys are aware, I'm 56 questions behind, so just keep that in mind. Okay, that's you talking to Alexa, and that's Alexa talking back to you, so I can skip that. Age, angel numbers, and for one virtue. Huh? Age, angel numbers, and for one virtue. What do you mean? Is the KYBALION valid? You must have missed it, everything. No. And her creation of New Age. Oh, you mean Doreen? Okay, and her creation of New Age angel numbers. From what I have researched and what the creator is saying, in your opinion, no. Oh, okay. So you're talking to that. Okay. Weird question, but what is fate? Like everything happens for a reason, or more like everything is set? I don't study fate in any way, so I can't really answer that question. Fate for me would be something that is set. If something is your fate, then yes, it would be set. Destiny, I believe, can be changed, but fate, I don't believe can be changed. Fate is something that is set. So I believe the day you're born and the day you die are fated. I believe those two things are fated. Everything in between is up to you. But I think the day you're born and the day you die, those are written in the stars. Well, not literally written in the stars, but you know what I mean. My first job was planting lawns in Berlin. I got kicked out of Berlin. I am not allowed back into the city of Berlin because apparently French kissing horses is illegal. So, I can have sex with my dog in Canada, but I can't kiss a horse in Berlin. So, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Not anymore. Just kidding. I don't kiss horses. That's a joke from a movie called Eurotrip. You don't believe me? Google it. There's literally a line in Eurotrip where they were in some country and they were like trying to hitchhike and they found this trucker and the trucker spoke German and then one of the characters took German in school and so he was trying to like talk to them and then he was like, yeah, we're trying to get to Berlin. Like, can you take us to Berlin? And the trucker was like, so I kind of can't go back to Berlin because I open mouth kissed a horse. So, but the kid didn't understand. He's like, yeah, okay. He said he'll take us to Berlin. Yeah. And yeah. All magic leads to a place called the Three Bridges. The Three Bridges. What do you mean? So that sounds kind of like you're talking about some soul level stuff, some animism soul stuff, like the 3 levels of the soul. Is that what you mean? I've never heard of the 3 bridges. What do you mean? See 3 stars through a round window. Oh, wait. I skipped. Look through a round window at 3 stars. See 3 stars through a round window. Rosicrucian. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? May the goddess Hecate bless you and stand beside you and to guide you. Blessed be. Amen. Stand in the corner until dawn. What? May you repent of your false god. worship and turn to the Lord Jesus Christ for salvation. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. Jesus got his ego down to 3D. I will cast a spell for you with my patron goddess Hecate for your healing. Yeah, I'll light some candles for you. Let me on your live video. No, Jamal for Jesus, I'm not going to let you on my live video. You're not going to spread your Christianity here. Nor did I have the debate background up because we're not here to debate. We're here to talk about the KYBALION and the raw materials if I get there. So no, Jamal for Jesus, I'm not going to let you on my video. Your demons are weak in power compared to the living God, Jesus. Well, all gods are living unless you're worshiping a dead God or something like that. So all gods are living. Just because you believe that there are no other gods doesn't mean that there are not. That's specifically why your Bible says not to worship other gods, because there are other gods. If other gods were not real, then your Bible wouldn't waste any time saying don't worship them. Hence, the Bible doesn't say don't worship balloons, because balloons are not spiritually real. So it says not to worship other gods because there are other gods. So also, what do you think about when the Bible is talking to the other nations and like directly to the other nations and their deities? And it does say that ye are gods. Literally. I think it was Elijah that said that. He was prophesying to the nations, and he said, yeah, ye are gods. Sure. You're a god, but you're going to die like the mortals. I forgot what he said. You're going to die, and he said something else. It was something bad, like, so you're going to die, and then something else is going to happen. But yeah, you're gods. I'll give you that. Why would Elijah, a prophet of God, say that? Unless you're saying Elijah is lying. And then if that's the case, then what else in the Bible is a lie? I mean, if that's a lie, then what else would be a lie? So there's only two options here. Either he was telling the truth and they are gods, or he's lying. And then we have to then determine what else in the Bible is a lie. So I'll let you take a pick, and we'll go from there. Promethium. What's Promethium? Lucifer is a loser and on his way to the lake of fire. You are headed there too unless you repent. No, sir. No, we are not. The sun is the lake of fire. Why would you say the sun is the lake of fire? God has his own platonic solid. What do you mean by that? Sar Exkin. Would you be able to elaborate on, or perhaps you did because I'm behind a little bit, but would you be able to elaborate on that? Hey, how you doing? I'm doing well. Church of Lucifer, welcome. Plant grass on the Mount of Olives. What are you talking about, Sar Exkin? My harem is global. Are you promoting prostitution services in my live, sir? No way. I cannot allow that. We do not promote prostitution services here. While I am all for a woman being able to choose whatever she wants to do with her body, whatever makes her happy, I will not promote the purchase and sale of people in my life for sexual gratification. That's disgusting. So, no, sir. Your harem cannot be global on my life. According to the Bible, those who practice witchcraft will go to the lake of fire for eternal punishment. So do you speak Hebrew, my good man? Do you speak Hebrew? Do you have a Hebrew dictionary, like a Strong's Concordance near you? I'd like you to tell me, what is the Hebrew word for witchcraft? Because I believe it's something known as pharmakia. Pharmakia, where we get our word pharmacy from. This is how etymology works. Pharmakia, which if we look at the Greek and Hebrew for pharmakia, well, pharmakia is Greek, not Hebrew, excuse me. If we look at the Greek for what pharmakia actually means, it's the mixture of substances. It's the mixture of herbs and chemicals together and using them in tinctures and potions and salvas and balms. Not the casting of spells, not the workings of rituals, but pharmakia. That's your witchcraft, but nice try. Dolphin Iron Man in the Lake of Fire. What? We need him in Hollywood. What do you mean? You love darkness rather than light. No, I don't. Let me on the live. Don't be scared. I'm not scared. That's like going on to someone who's doing makeup Like, this is literally what you're doing. So I'm sitting here doing makeup. This is a makeup live, right? And you're like, I want to talk about physics. Don't be scared. This isn't a physics live. So why would I talk about physics? We're not talking about religion. We're talking about the KYBALION and the raw materials and how they are incorrect. So no, I'm not going to talk about religion with a Christian who's going to push his Christian beliefs. You can call it scared if you want, but I doubt that you'd say the same thing if you went to someone who's talking about surfboarding and you're like, I want to talk about fixing cars. Let me on your live and let's talk about mechanics of cars. And they're like, nah, we're talking about surfing. And you go, oh, you're scared. No, we don't talk about fixing cars here. We talk about surfing. So therefore, that's what we're going to talk about. So in your case, no, we're not going to talk about Christianity and religion. We're going to talk about the issues with the KYBALION and the raw materials and other New Age books like the description of the live says. Unless you see me put up a debate thing, which I generally only do on weekends, I'm not going to talk to religion about you or talk with you about religion. Excuse me. Sorry. You can call it scared if you want, but that's not what the live is about. That's like if you were live right now and you were talking about Christianity and I said, I want to talk about the history of fans in the homes, ceiling fans. I want to talk about that. Let me on or you're scared. You'd be like, what the heck, bro? This is a Christian. You want to talk about fans? This is a Christian live. What are you talking about? We're talking about the love of Jesus Christ here, not fans. So what are you doing? No one's scared. That's just not what the live is about. You have 20,000 followers. You can go live on your own page and talk about the love of Jesus and how Lucifer is going to go into the lake of fire and how witchcraft is evil, even though the Bible says pharmakia and all that on your own live. Or if you want to do it on my live, you'd have to wait until I do a debate. And it's not right now. Right now we're talking about false books. So throw another shrimp on the barbie. Hey, shrimp on the barbie. Isn't that from the Outback Steakhouse? That's an Outback Steakhouse commercial. Shrimp on the barbie. Thoughts on Obeah? I don't practice Obeah. I don't have an issue with Obeah. I don't practice it. I don't know anybody that practices Obeah. Personally, I don't know anybody that practices Obeah. But it's a Jamaican system of sorcery. Caribbean, but mainly practiced in Jamaica. And they generally work with like spirits of the dead and land spirits, like the surrounding spirits of the immediate space. So like the Genius Loki and stuff like that. But I'm not a member of any Obeah related group. I'm not what is known as an Obeah man or an Obeahman. So, I mean, I don't really have thoughts in that way since I don't practice it, but I don't have any issue with it. Like there's no problem with it. It is a legit ADR. So what if it's hidden? What is hidden? The art on throne. What you mean? Carved out on my throne. Carve what on your throne? The art on throne? Or you want shrimp on a Barbie? I'll put that on your throne. I'll put a shrimp on a Barbie on the phone. Jesus is the only way to salvation. Salvation from what? Exactly. Salvation from what? I'm 60 years old. And tonight for dinner, I'm going to have creamed corn and steamed peaches. Sorry, that was Jim Carrey. I had to do it. I'm sorry. It just popped in my head. I went ADHD for a moment, but I apologize. Sorry. Jesus' universal truth says your truth. Oh, that's Paxton talking to him. Oh, hey, sorry. Paxton, I didn't even know you were in here. What's going on, man? Thank you for being here. I'm so hied up in, I'm not high, but like, I'm so like hied up in my anger and in my like nonsense that I'm just ignore the Bible thumpers, y'all. I do. I mean, unless they start getting like insulting or offensive, I don't block them or mute them or anything like that. And I ask my moderators not to do that. Unless they get insulting or anything, people can say whatever they want. I know what it's like to be blocked when you have an opinion, so I'm not going to block him. He's free to say what he wants as long as it's not offensive or insulting. But yeah, we're not going to talk about religion here. Do you have a bibliography of suggestions? I have a video. You mean like of books to like read to like get you started? I have a video. There's two videos really, but one video is obvious. The second video is more of a response to someone else, and then I give book recommendations. But the first video is an actual book, a recommendation video, excuse me. Hermes 57. Who's Hermes? Oh, you're at Hermes57. Who's that? Is that a person in the chat? How do you thank your horse? Plant grass in Berlin. What? Barbecue 3 shrimp at Bitcoin Field. Bitcoin Field? You mean crypto.com arena? That's a dumb name. They just should have called it Crypto Arena. Crypto.com arena. That was a power move to the max. They wanted you to know that the owner of this of the former Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles is a crypto company. They couldn't just call it the Crypto Arena. It had to be the Crypto.com arena. Like that's like ridiculous. That's like Lincoln Financial Center being renamed to Lincoln Financial and Bank Inc. Field. It's like, what? Just, it's the Lincoln Financial Center. Like it doesn't have to have the entire name of the company in the name of the arena. That's ridiculous. So crypto.com arena, that's stupid. They did it as a power move. So that way the whole world knows crypto had enough money to buy a whole arena. Ego. The crypto arena would have been fine. What are the issues, may I ask? Because I like the KYBALION, but nothing is perfect. Oh man, you missed it, man. We went over all of it. You missed it. I might upload this to YouTube. I'm waiting for my editor. He hasn't responded. Hold on, I just got an email. Is it him? No. I'm waiting for my editor to respond. He hasn't responded in like 2 days, so I don't know what's going on in his life or anything. But hopefully he'll respond because I have some. I'm waiting for some other videos to get edited and uploaded to my YouTube, but I don't edit. I don't know what I'm doing, so he does it for me. Do I want salmon? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make one.
And what for a side?
Huh?
And what for a side?
I don't know. I'll surprise you.
Okay, thank you. I'll take some salmon. Thank you. Salmon's for dinner. I know I said creamed corn and steamed peas, but actually it's salmon. Salmon and a side. I don't know what side we're gonna have, but salmon and a side. Did she close the door? Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. We just went over it. A basic overview, I guess. So it was published by a Masonic organization that is owned, or was owned, because he's dead now, obviously. But it was owned by William Walker Atkinson, who is also known as Yogi Ramachakra, also known as Magus Incognitus, also known as Theron Q. Dumont. And he was not only the owner of that publishing company, but the owner of the the leader of the International New Thought Alliance. Now, you were probably in a lot of my other lives where I mentioned Dion Fortune's book, Applied Magic in 1946, where she attributes the New Age movement coming from the New Thought movement of the 19th century. And this owner of Yogi Publication Society Masonic Temple is the leader of the International New Thought Alliance, and he's the author of the KYBALION. So if New Ageism comes from New Thought, and the author of the KYBALION is the leader of the New Thought movement, that would make the KYBALION a New Age or New Thought text. Not only that, it claims to be a Hermetic text. It makes quotes like, "We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of the secret doctrines this little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings." And then I read no less than two correspondences from the KYBALION, directly verbatim from the KYBALION, and then gave you the actual Hermetic teachings for that thing, which the KYBALION does not go over. It just says, hey, there's a law of correspondence, and it's a great law. And it teaches you things about the universe. All right, well, now there's also the law of it, and it's like, you didn't teach me anything. That's just like saying, hey, there's math, and it's numbers, and math solves some things, some complex things we use math for. All right, now there's also science. And it's like, okay, can you teach me some math? Like, what? So that, where else? I didn't talk about this one earlier, but it claims that Hermetics is the basis for not only Western esotericism and philosophy. That's not the case at all. Western Western philosophy, Western esotericism is a mixture of Hermeticism, yes, but also Christianity, Judaism, Gnosticism, and Hellenism. There's some Persian stuff in there. There's some Arab stuff in there, but I mean, we can attribute the Arabic stuff to Christian and Judaism, even though I know Islam is its own thing. It's Abrahamic. They're all the sons of Abraham, so I group those together. But the book also goes further to say that it's also the basis of Vedic and Hindu philosophy. What? Hindu philosophy has been around thousands of years before Hermetics, before Hermes Trismegistus was even a thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You lied. Not you, but them. The William Walker Atkinsons, aka Yogi Rama Chakra, aka Magus Incognito, aka Theron Q. Dumont, is a liar. Sounds like he's also a con artist or a charlatan. I get having a pen name, I get that, but how many authors do you know have 6 pen names? How many? They usually have their real name and then a pen name, so that way they can write whatever they want and not, and they don't know it's them, and then they still get paid for it. That's it. I don't know any authors that have 4 names. That's ridiculous. Sounds like you're trying to skirt the law somehow. William Walker Atkinson. Sounds like you're trying to get around on something so people can't find you, know who you are. You charlatan. What did Johnny Depp say in Sweeney Todd? You mountebank. That's what you are. Not you, William Walker Atkinson. He's dead now, so I'm speaking ill of the dead, but whatever. But yeah, that's like I mean, there's a lot that we went over earlier, but oh no! Ooh, I almost knocked my thing off. Ooh. Have you read the Quran? I have not. I know literally zero about the Quran. Absolutely zero. I reposted that Jim Carrey video on my IG. I love Jim Carrey. I think he's so funny. And even though I was always a fan, I think I said this on a live before. I was always a fan of Jim Carrey from the days of The Mask. I never watched him like in living color or anything like that. But The Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumberer, Man on the Moon, all of that. What was the movie where he? What's the one where he found out the world was fake? Why am I blanking on this? That movie. Anyway, but after watching his Jim and Andy on Netflix a few years ago, I had no idea he was a method actor. I have a huge respect for method actors. I had no idea Jim Carrey was a method actor. And after watching that, I know why, because all the videos and everything of him doing all that stuff had to be suppressed because the studios didn't want people to think he was an asshole. But watching him get into character for Man on the Moon, which was a bomb of a movie, a bomb as in it didn't make any money, not bomb as in, oh, it's the bomb, but bomb as in it was crap in terms of finance. Seeing him like get into the character of my name's Tony Clifton, seeing him get into that character, oh my, like, newfound respect for Jim Carrey. I mean, and it reinforces my belief that comedy actors, minus Denzel Washington, of course, comedy actors are probably the best actors of all time. I mean, in order to be a comedy actor, you have to go through a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, and that's where actors pull their acting from, trauma and pain. So that's probably why comedy actors are the best actors. I mean, aside from stage actors, obviously stage actors are the literally best actors of all time, but comedy actors, those who can give authentic comedic performances on camera, if you give them a chance to do a dramatic role, I promise you, they will surprise you. Look at Adam fucking Sandler in Uncut Gems. How did you not get an Oscar for that movie? Uncut Gems is a masterpiece in acting. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to say the same thing about The Tragedy of Macbeth when I watch that tonight. But Uncut Gems is a masterpiece by amateur directors, and they captured Adam Sandler. Oh my God. I believed it. I'm in the movie theater believing what I'm seeing on screen. I'm believing Adam, he's Jewish, but I'm believing he's this Jew diamond dealer in the middle. And when I don't want to spoil it, but when he gets killed, I'm like, oh my God, like I believed it. It was real. That's acting. And whew. So I have a lot of respect for Jim Carrey. Would you say it's best to try everything you're interested in until you find a sweet spot? Yes, I do. That's the only way that you'll find what fits you, what you like, and everything like that. That's the only way. Experiment. Grab one book, read it, see if you like it. If you do like it, try it out. I mean, as long as it's not closed and it doesn't require like any sort of licensee or stuff like that. Try it out. See if you like it. See if it works with you. If not, next. Until you find something that you like and that sits well with you. You will. The occult well, I know the New Age won't tell you this, but the occult well is vast and deep. It's so deep. The few systems that I talk about on this live don't even scrap. I mean, Grimoire tradition, trad, witchcraft, hoodoo, voodoo, kimbanda, ifa, candomblé, umbanda, 21 divisiones. The never stop called a and I couldn't get that out for some reason. All those things are surface. Like, it's literally the surface of all the systems and traditions and paths and religions in occultism and esotericism and mysticism that are out there. Only scratch the surface. So yes, you certainly want to try anything that you can get your hands on that interests you, that does not require licencia or does not require permission for you to do. It's not closed. Then yes, feel free to practice whatever you would like and see what fits with you. The stream pushing P, my G. So I watched the interview with Gunna and him talking about stuff that is P, but I still don't understand what P is. I guess it's anything good, anything that fit good is P. I did watch that interview on the Breakfast Club, but I still don't understand what P is. I'm assuming that you're using P in that same way, to, the slang P. But I don't know. I loved Ace Ventura. Have you heard Dawn FM? The Weeknd, Dawn FM. Yes. I used to not be a fan of The Weeknd. I remember. Okay, story time. So I used to work at Discover before I worked at this bank. I used to work at Discover as a credit analyst there. And Clea Ramirez, Google her, because she's semi-famous now, sat next to me in my little cubicle. Clea Ramirez. She was on America's Next Top Model. Cycle 17, I believe. I'm not a fan. I don't watch it, but I looked her up because I didn't know she was on there. She didn't tell anybody she was trying to be famous. And then one day I'm watching TV and I see her. I'm like, yo, that's why she's not at work. She's in Hollywood. But anyway. So, Clea Ramirez was on, America's Next Top Model. And she was the one, and so before she went away to go do all that, I remember her sitting next to me, and I'm singing Michael Jackson. I'm singing Smooth Criminal or something. I'm just singing, doing my work, and she like, hey, have you ever heard of The Weeknd? I'm like, what? Have you ever heard of The Weeknd? No, I listen to music. And she's like, no, The Weeknd, he's this new guy from Canada, blah, blah, blah. He did a song, Dirty Diana by The Weeknd. I mean, you should hear it. And I'm like, I don't care. So I heard it. I kind of didn't like it, but and then she went away and did her thing, which no one knew. And then I had to find out later. And then when The Weeknd came out with Beauty Behind the Madness, I was like, yo, this is music. I melted. I'm like, this man, this Canadian man with the translator on his head can sing to me anytime. No homo. And then he came out with Starboy. Well, he had other albums before that, but then I love The Weeknd. So yes, I have heard Dawn FM. I think it's great. I knew that Jim Carrey was going to be on it because I'm on Twitter and I follow a lot of other than crypto. The only other thing on Twitter I follow is celebrity stuff. So because I'm into Hollywood and film and all that, so I knew that he was going to be in it. But when I heard it, it didn't sound. Why did I do that? Well, anyway, it didn't sound like Jim Carrey. It sounded like somebody else. I don't know, but I thought it was great. I think Dawn FM is great. Whole album, no skips. Whole album is great. Whole album's great. Dawn FM is great. Sorry. The Truman Show. Thank you. I was going to say Duplicity for some stupid reason. What's wrong with me? I was going to say Duplicity. Thank you. The Truman Show. Is a great. Yes, it is a great Jim Carrey movie. Would you say trying everything you're in? Yeah. Didn't I just answer that? I just signed up for the necromantic classes by the Cauldron Black. Okay, that's cool. I've never heard of the Cauldron Black, but that's cool. I hope you get out of it what you're looking for. Man, I've been on The Weeknd since 2010, the trilogy classic. I love some Weeknd. Yeah, I was not a fan until... When did I start working at Discover? Where are we at? We're in 2022? Oh my God. I was like 8-9 years ago. So yeah, that's when I got on The Weeknd. Ooh, excuse me. And I do love him now. I think he's great. And he's like the only person because like I know R&B is different now than it was back in the day. Like it was all love songs and treating the girl right back in the day. Ooh, girl, I love you. I'm gonna give it to you all. I want to make you feel good. That's what songs were. Love songs was R&B. Now it's sex. It's literally rap. You just sing it. And The Weeknd does it like, I mean, I'm a huge Trey Songz, even though he's not really doing anything. I'm a huge Trey Songz fan, and even though, yes, he just got accused of his stuff, so maybe I shouldn't say that. And I'm a huge oh my God, I'm blanking on who's the other singer who's also from Canada. He did the Trey it. There's life forever I've been waiting. Why can't I think of this? Oh my God. I'm dumb. He was allegedly shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. Where is my brain? Why can't I think of this guy's name? I'm sure someone in the chat's telling me, but I don't want to look at the chat yet. I want to see if I can get this. Why can't I think of his freaking name? Come on, Canada. Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Alanis Morissette. Come on. Somebody tell me. Tory Lanez. Why didn't I get that? Tory Lanez. Oh my God. Thank you. Why didn't I get that? Tory freaking Lanez. Jesus Christ. Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez does it well too. But the way Tory Lanez sings and the way The Weeknd sings, like The Weeknd is like the new Michael Jackson. And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Like a real, like the history of Michael Jackson. I know. Like the way Tory Lanez sings and the way The Weeknd sings, like The Weeknd is like the new Michael Jackson. And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Like a real, like the history of Michael Jackson. I know. Like I'm a big, like if we were in my office at work, it would be, you would think I was a 12-year-old girl. I got all MJ stuff everywhere. It's crazy. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. And so for me to say The Weeknd is like, in terms of voice, not in terms of fame or money, or I don't even think The Weeknd can dance or dancing, even though in The Hills Have Eyes, he did do the Michael Jackson dance and spin and did top thing. In terms of voice, he's the new Michael Jackson. So for you to be able to sing like that, but sing about drugs and FNBs and listen, my favorite song by The Weeknd is not even like any of his like mainstream stuff. It's an old song. It's by him and by a rapper I don't even like, Belly. Might Not. Everybody around me saying I should realize 'cause I've been with. Yo, that song gets me crazy. That song crazy. Gory Lanes. Ayo, why he called Gory Lanes? What's up with that? He be doing porn? That's crazy. But yeah, Tory Lanez. I can't believe I forgot that name. If you haven't listened to the trilogy, okay, let me put that on my YouTube music. Go to YouTube and then I'll cue it to and it'll push to my phone. Would you say the trilogy? The trilogy. Compilation album by The Weeknd. I know House of Balloons. I know High for This. I know Life of the Party. Okay, those are the only songs I know on this album. So okay, yes, I will listen to this album. Damn, this is a lot of music. 30 songs? God damn. Who do you think you are? Michael Jackson? It's like, nah, let me stop. That's okay. Didn't The Weeknd take Lil Uzi on tour a few years ago? Yeah, EXO Tour Life. Yeah, that's what EXO Tour Life is about. He was on tour with The Weeknd and he got a bunch of sex, I guess. So, yes, it's House of Balloons Thursday and Echoes of Silence. Oh, okay. I was about to say, yeah, because I know some of these. Okay. That makes sense. Listen to it all the way through from the beginning to the end. Okay, I will do that. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then I'm going to get off here. I've been on since a little after 5, so I want to go eat and everything. My salmon should be ready soon. If you were here earlier, you heard her come in and offer me salmon. So a lot of metalheads are into the occult. That's true. A lot of bands are like openly, like not like for media and marketing and buzzwords, but like and it's a lot of like Northern European bands like Behemoth and stuff like, I don't know those, so I don't know. But there's this band. The leader of it is affiliated with EXR, who E.A. Koetting used to write through. Actually, let me show you their website. IXAXAAR. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So the leader of this Norwegian band is affiliated with EXR. E.A. Koetting used to write through them. So let me just click on some of their titles, their available titles. So they wrote the Liber Falcifer series. For those of you who are familiar with necromancy, or in this case necrosophy, they wrote the Liber Falcifer series. This is a very so that's all that they have out right now. But if we go to their sold out titles, they've got a bunch of books that they have published over the years. And why won't it move down? There we go. The leader of one of these Norwegian bands is affiliated with these guys. I forgot which book he is part of here. But yeah, and as you can tell, these are obviously the same, the same style of books that I'm in love with. So, whoa, sorry, I don't mean to promote adult content. But yeah, so he's affiliated with this group. I'm trying to think. There was this one band that got, the leader killed himself. He was affiliated with the Order of Nine Angles or something like that. And some anti-cosmic Satanist group, and he offed him, because he thought it wasn't an accident. Like, he was doing a ritual, and he thought that it would take him to the next level, and he unalived himself. Yeah, I forgot the name, because I don't like that kind of music. I'm not into metal or rock or anything like that. So, or at least not that kind of rock. I like some rock, but not that kind of rock. So I don't know the name of the band or the guy. And plus it's some Northern European name. I'm probably going to mispronounce. Olaf Gusten Verhandersheden or something like that. So, but yes, there are a lot of people in the metal community that are into occultism, and a lot of albums in the metal community have occult symbology. A lot of songs from metal groups are named after demons or things like that, like real demons, not just like mythological demons, like demons from the Goetia or something like that. So. The lead singer of Him is in the occult. Really? Him? That's that, I know him. I don't know any of their music. I could not name one Him song, but like I've seen them, like not live or anything, but like on social media and like advertised, as doing a concert. I don't know. I've seen him. HIM. Yeah, I've seen him. Isn't one of the guys bald, or are they all bald or something like that? But I was not aware of that the lead singer of Him is in the occult. Dio writes occult gospel. Who's Dio? Is that a band? EXR, please spell. Oh, yeah, IXA. Hold on. Let me go back because I closed out of it. But IXAXAAR. EXR. Or IXR, Izizar. I don't speak Norwegian or Swedish or wherever they're from, so it's probably Hugenflin, and it's just spelled that way, and we're saying it all wrong. But it's either EXR, Izizar, Izizar, Ixaxar. I don't know. Hugenflin, but yeah, IXAXAAR. Is there a book comparative to Effigy? I missed my chance. So did I. Do you know how pissed I am at not being able to get Effigy? Like, I would probably put Effigy where I have the Book of Flesh and Feather. I want that book so bad. Especially because I have my own Effigy, which I've shown before. I have a custom-made fetish doll, which can house either spirits of the land or spirits of the dead. And I have not done anything with it yet because I haven't come up with what I believe is a fully correct ritual in order to not only summon, attract, but also seat and keep the spirit seated into the vessel. From what I understand, that book would do it. And I am a part of a group on Facebook that people can buy and sell books. And I messaged the admin like not even a month ago, asking if he knew anyone that was selling effigy for a reasonable price. And he was like, "Well, what is what is that to you?" And I said, "Well, anything less than $150. I'll pay $25 above regular market price. I'm not giving you $200. I'm not giving you $300. I know it's like limited edition and all that other stuff, but you're not getting any more than 150 out of me plus shipping." So he said he'll look. He hasn't responded with anything, so I doubt anybody's willing to let the book go for less than probably double the regular price. But I do not have any other recommendation. Well, so effigy is both a practical guide and a historical guide. So in that way, I don't have any other books that's both practical and historical. If you want practical, Kindoki by Efefe Ogo. I'll show you. Efefe Ogo, Kindoki. Congolese sorcery. This one right here. Kindoki. As you can see, right on the front, it has the prenda. This is the spirit prenda, which is used in, I just drew a blank, Pelo Meombe. They use this in Pelo Meombe to conjure, to trap spirits in. And there's a chapter, the prenda and the Kindoki fetish. It shows you how to actually make it like step by step. All the ingredients, everything you got to do. It shows you how to go over and make a prenda, which would be in effigy. It's just not the same kind of effigy that the book is talking about. It's a different kind. It's the kind that I have, which I can show you if you want. And then it goes over communicating with the spirits within the prenda, and then a formulary, which is spells. So this is a good one. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I know Liber Falcifer goes into, I'm going to get my effigy. I know that a Liber Falcifer goes into it a bit. But their method is a bit involved. It's 9 months for their method to enseat and ensorcel a fetish item. So I don't know if you want to wait 9 months to ensorcel or seat your fetish. But here's mine. I'm going to open it right now. So this is my fetish, created by Matthew Venus of Spiritus Arcanum, because I cannot do anything like this myself. As you guys know, I'm not an artist. You saw the circle that I made on that 12-foot canvas. It's not even symmetrical. So if I can't draw a symmetrical circle, I wouldn't be able to create anything like this. So this is an effigy. As you can see, it has some of the sacred symbols to various spirits, and also some symbols to seat and hold spirits inside. This is a hollow I was going to say device, object or item inside, not up here, but down here. It's quite heavy down here. Up here is a little lighter. It's quite heavy down here. In the base here, there are items that are loaded, that are sympathetic to necromancy and natural magic, to allow you to summon and seat a spirit within the item. But I don't have a method that I'm fully into. I can't use the Kindoki method because I don't have a prenda. This is not a prenda, so I wouldn't be able to follow the method in here. And I don't want to get anything wrong. I don't want to mess anything up, so I'm afraid to modify it myself. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a alternative to effigy, but I really want that book by Martin Duffy. Hopefully, someone can get me a PDF copy of it, because I can't seem to find an actual affordable copy, like for less than like $300. I'm not giving you $300. I'll give you $150, and that's it. Ghost is super occult. Ronnie James Dio. A band called Ghost. Okay, cool. My private nurse is free. Splash cold water on your face 7 times. I'm in the same group. I saw you on there. You're in the same group. What group? Oh, effigy. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah. I'm part of several Facebook groups that talk about the occult. One of them is like way over my head. Like, I mean, it's Grimtrad, but they go further than I go. I stop. I go no further than Trithemius. I'll go as far back as so 1200. No, what the fuck am I talking about? The 1500s. Yeah, that's as far as I go back. Right? They go back to stuff that predates the Zohar and the Liber Razialis, and I'm like, what? Like, these guys talk about things that are like stuff that I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. Way over my head. Redesign the human world's map. The human's world map, please. I'll do my best. Show us. Show you what? Oh, you mean the thing? I just did. Thank you so much. My invisible effigy tears a dried. Is Spiritus Arcanum a site? Yes, it is. I can show you the website. There it is. Right here. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Let me X out of that. All right. So Spiritus Arcanum, quality wares for the magical arts. So I went over to, so they have three things. They have the Magical Apothecary, Spiritus Arcanum, and Salem Conjure Co. So they're located in Salem, Massachusetts. So I went here to Spiritus Arcanum, and then I go down to Custom Work. And then there it is right there, the Custom Fetish Doll. And then, or you can get fixed candles or Mojo hands, whatever you're looking for. So, yep, I just went right here, and if you work with him, he'll get all the information from you for what you want your item to look like. I told him I didn't care, so that's why mine looks almost like this guy, except for all the stuff on the front. I told him I didn't care, just make it look like it's suitable for a spirit of the dead. So I guess he made it look like a mummy. But here's some like other ones. So obviously if you tell him, oh my God, why can't I click on anything? If you tell him what you're looking for, see, like that one doesn't look like mine at all. That one, oh my God, dude. There we go. That one, it doesn't look like mine at all. That one doesn't look like, that one's a mandrake fetish. So it looks mummy-like, but it's not, it's just the face. It's actually a mandrake root. So yeah, that's the website, Spiritus Arcanum by Matthew Venus and a few of his partners. So you need 2 of those. I need 2 of what? Is there a PDF to that purple book that only made 200 copies? I don't know. Maybe. There's 2. There's the purple and the green. This one came first and this one came second. So Asaya Ka Luxa and so feel free to, since I was going to get off at 7:15, so I guess that's the last thing I'll do. I'll show you that these are sold out because you might not believe me. So Aeon Sophia Press is the publisher of both books. I don't know why this one doesn't say it on it, but it is the publisher. I think the author and the publisher had a falling out, Aeon Sophia. And this is copy 180 out of 200. 180 out of 200. Your copy is number 180. But yeah, so this one I got from the actual publisher themselves, Aeon Sophia. I bought the last one. When I went back the next day to just like read about the description again, it said sold out. So, and then this one I had to get from the author himself because the publisher was sold out and Miskatonic Books was sold out. So I had to get it from the publisher. But if you were to go to Aeon Sophia right now, which we can do, you're not like it'll have the web link, but when you click on it, it'll be blank. So let me show you here, because that's how I found out it was sold out. Because after I buy a book, while I'm waiting for it to come, I like to like get myself into the energy of the book or whatever. So I'll read reviews about it. I'll go back on the website, unless I bought it from Amazon. Then I'll go to Amazon. But if I got it from like these books, I'll go back to the website. I'll read the description over and over and over again. If they have photos, I'll look through the photos. I'll read through the table of contents. And so when I bought those books, the next day I went back to do that, and it said sold out. So okay, so here we go. So I'm on Google. I typed in Asaya Ka Luxa Aeon Sophia. Okay, just in case anybody thinks I'm choosing keywords, we'll do Aeon Sophia Press, since that's the name of the company. Aeon Sophia Press. Okay, so here it is through eBay. So you'll have to get it through eBay, but I don't think, and it's $700. $700. So that's what you'll have to pay if you want it. $700. There it is. I did not pay anywhere near $700. I paid $80. Oh, sorry, I was going to X out, but let me go back. That's Miskatonic Books, where I had to buy most of my books, but out of stock. $225. Didn't pay anywhere near that. So, but let's see what the publisher has to say, the actual publisher. So that's Goodreads. So that's just a review. That's YouTube, a review. Oh, there it is. Aeon Sophia Press, Asaya Ka Luxa by Vermilion. And there's a picture of it right next to it. But let's see what happens when I click on the link. Product unavailable. Aeon Sophia. It's like not even here. It's like most websites would have the description, the book, the price, and just say sold out, like Miskatonic Books did, like I just showed you. Nope, product, it doesn't even have it. That's why I think the author and them had a falling out. Like it's not even, like it doesn't exist. It's like you click the link and it's not even here. It's like not even here. So if you want it, you got to pay $700 to whomever is that guy on eBay, because it doesn't seem to be available anywhere else. These are all just like, this is Tumblr, so you can't buy it off of there. Is this a, oh no, this is PicClick. So this is just pictures. Yeah, it's just, so this website seems to be a compiler website. So this is for sale on eBay for $700. So it'll just, it just, so rather than you Googling all the stores it can be bought at, it'll just show you. So eBay is the only one that has this one right now for $700. So, and it's the same with the second book, Zaka-El and the Stargated Christ. Same thing, same issue. So, I don't know. I don't know if there's a PDF copy out there. Since I have a physical copy, I never looked for a PDF copy. But, I don't know. But, all right. So, I think I'm going to go. Ooh, excuse me, with that. Thank you guys for being here. It was a great... little over 2 hours. Thank you for joining my live and being here with me and listening to my spiel. Sorry we didn't get to do the raw material. We did a little bit of the raw material, but we spent most of our time on the KYBALION. I'll probably do a video on it, so that way the most people, like the most number of people can see this, not just 11, 12, people. So I'll probably do a video, which I will probably put out sometime this weekend. So that way other people can get this information as well. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I will try to go live tomorrow, depending on what I'm doing. I don't know my schedule tomorrow. Not work schedule, but like life schedule. I don't have any plans, but you know how life is. I can get a call tonight and be like, hey, do you want to hang out tomorrow? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's it for me tonight. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Like and follow if you don't already follow me. And if you want direct access to me, join the Discord. Link is in my bio. If you want any sort of work done, any sort of consultations, visit my website. Link is also in the bio. Yeah. So, all right. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.